I lost my heart in the heat of San Antonio.
Hi guys, we're Ghost of Paul Revere. I'm Max.
I'm Sean.
And I'm Griffin.
We had an idea that whenever anybody would ask us how we got the name or why, we tell a different story each time, just to kind of keep it interesting, and we don't really know. The true answer is that Griffin woke up from having some type of dream, and the phrase was just kind of stuck in his head. And then I think that's what we're going with.
Yeah. Well, now that's kind of fun because maybe everyone will think that was one of the made-up ones.
True.
Yeah.
It actually came to us because we met a very wealthy man who adopted us when we were young and took us to a haunted house, and it turned out he was a ghost.
It's a great.
Fuck, I don't know. Growing up together where we grew up, it was not really a busy place. It was kind of in the country. So we'd get together and have a fire at night, and then we'd start playing around with songs and instruments, and it kind of just helped us have some fun. And then Griffin started doing his own set after he came back from school, and Max and I would go to support him, and he would give us free beer if we came and sang with him.
They came for the free beer.
Yeah. And then it just kind of worked after that, and being best friends for 28, 29 years, it just kind of made sense to put one and one together, and now we're a band.
Yeah.
In
Worst
Denmark.
mistake of our lives.
How did we get here?
I just really don't know. I really don't know. Well, so we came up with a term called holler folk when we started the band, and it's followed us ever since. We kind of just did it because we couldn't figure out what to put ourselves under in iTunes, so we made our own genre. And I would say that we're an odd mix of the band and a little bit of like 1960s New York folk scene. If none of them really learned how to play their instruments well, and like to shout a lot, I think is probably the best way to describe it.
Yeah.
It's a weird thing where it's like kind of almost like we were, it's made to sing together because it's so easy. We don't necessarily, we get asked a lot whether or not we spend a lot of time writing our harmonies and coming up with them, and the short answer is absolutely not. We just kind of start singing, and like whatever we like, we just keep, and like there's not much. It's all about gut feel and nothing about music theory, for sure.
Yeah, but I was actually just talking to someone last night about that blood and harmony idea. And I know people have looked into it, and there's something about what we were talking about and growing up together that you understand not only that person's voice and where it kind of fits vibrationally or sonically within your mind, but you also understand how they phrase words, and then also how they talk in a general sense, or how that will be kind of conveyed. So it seems very natural. There's certain times when I know how one of the other boys will say a word, and then that kind of, the technical part of harmony, I feel like a lot of times is figuring out the small cadences, or where they're putting inflections. And if that's something that you're so ingrained to understanding how a person does that, it's very easy to just intuit it and kind of put it forward. But it's a bizarre thing. I don't try not to dissect it too much because it's kind of magical. For this to be our first kind of entrance overseas is unbelievable to us. I mean, everything from the place that we're staying in to all the people working at the festival to the town and the community built around this festival and the audience and the musicians who are here, and the way that everything kind of, it's one of those things where it doesn't seem like people are trying or are put to work really like all the time. It doesn't seem like they're exhausted by the amount of work. It seems kind of natural that everything is happening the way it is, but there's so many moving parts all at once. So it's kind of wild to see, and such an honor to be a part of. So.
Yeah, it makes me really excited to hopefully come back.
Yeah.
And it's on that short list of festivals where you're just like, I cannot wait to play this again.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not even over. We
Right,
still
I
have
know
another
we're
show.
about halfway through and I'm already starting to get the blues about leaving.
I lost my heart in the heat of San Antonio. I found my love in the cold of the great white north. I watched my lover roll me over like a river storm. Well, you got pain in your bones, you know you're not alone. And I said, let me be your hunger pains, coursing through those pretty veins. Let your heart not be astray. Let me be your hunger pains. And I said, oh, 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 got